total strength, there are around 1,000 plus students studying at St. Paul. They are categorized as 6 sections: pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, primary school, middle school, secondary, and senior secondary. The exhibition is mainly category-wise competition. The categories are category 1, category 3, category. Category 4 consists of classes 8, 9 and 10, around 101 participants. Category 5 consists of classes 11 and 12, around 50 participants. So now when you want to, considering this current situation, why does business conducting an online exhibition? The answer is simple. The purpose of this exhibition is that it is a fusion process of teaching and learning. The process of exhibition, or for that matter, of teaching, is installing new beliefs, habits, information, and knowledge. Although books are a major source of information and learning, we have to develop new beliefs and habits by just reading and cramming. New books is not just possible. The education world, including the teachers, are always on their toes, searching the new and active methods of teaching and learning process. Some those believe that, apart from the theoretical knowledge, our education system should also aim to develop social skills and soft skills among students. Being aware of the current pandemic situation, St. Paul has arranged this magnificent online exhibition so that our Paulians will still have a chance to showcase their talents like they do every year. Now, let's sit back and watch the displays of various exhibits done by our Paulians. So that's the end of the presentation. I hope it was very informative. Thank you and have a cheerful day.
Thank you, friends. True guidance is like a small lamp in a dark forest. It doesn't show everything at once, but gives light for the next step to be seen. Our director has been constantly guiding and supporting all the students. I invite Father for the presidential address.
Dear respected Chief Guest of the day, Mr. John N. Thomas, CEO, Kerala Startup Mission, our beloved Principal Sheila Ma'am, Manager, Professor, dear teachers, students, and the parents. A warm good morning to all of you. I think it is a privilege to see the creativity of youngsters. In India, we know our education system is to gain knowledge given by others. But in reality, the world is fast changing. The world, what we see today, what they are saying is get the knowledge of others, but at the same time, enable the students to create something new by themselves. Because each child is unique, each child is creative, and each child is innovative. But since we are not promoting their talent, their multiple intelligence, what we do, we bring them back to memorizing and repeating whatever we have taught them. So this exhibition when we are having today, it is an avenue where we give them a chance to bring out their talents, their capabilities, their maybe ambitions. They are not able to express it, but they have that idea. So this is a starting point. If we ask our Jones, he would say, there are a lot of ideas which are put forward by our seniors in colleges and in our other institutions. But actually, I'm coming from colleges, he is coming from startup mission. And we know, I have many times I have thought, it would have been better if he started from our school. Because if we start from our schools, what happens? Our students would be really innovative. I actually take this opportunity to congratulate all the students, and all the teachers, and also the parents for supporting this event. I wish you all the best. May God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. When darkness comes, let's not condemn the dark, but light a lamp to illuminate. I invite our director, Reverend Father Anthony Vakuaratil, Chief Guest Mr. John M. Thomas, Principal Ms. Sheila Xavier, Manager Mr. C.C. Raphael, Coordinator Ms. Deepa, and the school captain and vice captain to light the lamp and inaugurate this prestigious function. The night is dark and I am far from home. Keep to my feet, I do not ask to see the distant sea. One step enough for me. I was not ever, there's no faith and all. Should lead me on. I have to choose and see my path right now. Lead me on. Lead me like a maiden circling blue. Lead me on. The night is dark and I am far from home. Little me, little me.
It's my request to the dignitaries to come forward to have a look at the exhibits of Savio and Rohan.
Sir, the time is 9:15 a.m. Good morning, sir. I am Matt, sir. Please tell how can I help you? Sir, tell our chief guest to bring his hands to the radar. Sir, do you have any other work? John M. Thomas, CTO of Techno Park, is our chief guest.
Congratulations to Master Savio and Master Rohan for the remarkable exhibits. The ideas were very innovative and they executed it wonderfully. It's a great honor to have Mr. John M. Thomas as our chief guest for this occasion. He is a technology leader with a wide-ranging experience in the public and private sector. His technical expertise span process, technology, data, analytics, and digital transformation areas. Mr. John has led both strategy and business transformation engagements involving big data, cloud data platforms such as AWS and Azure, machine learning, data warehousing, etc. More recently, Mr. John has held technology leadership roles with the Government of Kerala, including leadership roles in Kerala State IT Parks and Kerala Startup Mission. I cordially invite you to share your thoughts on this occasion.
Good morning to everyone. Reverend Father Anthony Arakel, Director, St. Paul's International School, Principal Srimati Sheila Xavier, respected teachers, dear parents, and my dearest students. I'm told that the very tagline of St. Paul's International is to inspire to reach beyond. There could be very few ways, very few better ways than expositio to live this tagline. If you really think about what education is all about, it is about the integral development of an individual to face the real life situations. If you think about what this exhibition is all about, which is events like this being key tools in working towards the stated purpose of that holistic education, the essence and the purpose of an event like this would be to build capabilities such as innovation, critical thinking, and problem solving. Those capabilities, inculcate those capabilities in the minds of the students. So looking at what each of these concepts are all about, if you think about innovation, Innovation is taking two things, or two or more things even, or even one thing, and putting that together to a new way of using to solve one of the problems that exist in the world, or to better something which is already being done. Now take critical thinking. I see critical thinking as the twin sibling of innovation, twin brother, twin sister, whatever you want to think of it as. Critical thinking is all about thinking outside the box, asking why not. And oftentimes, in order to innovate, in order to solve a problem, you need to first recognize that there is a problem in the first place. And even that very first step of recognizing problem doesn't happen unless you wake up and ask why and why not. Now, finally, problem solving, the third concept that I was alluding to. Innovation and critical thinking are only useful if they are put into practice, put into real world use. When these tools, these capabilities are actually used in an application setting. So now let us talk about the mindset, or what differentiates an innovator from the rest of the world. Because one of the key elements or inspiration to today's event, why an institution, an educational leader like St. Paul's has put so much energy and so much thought into organizing these events, is because it wants to achieve something, inculcate something in the minds and characters and habits of its students. What is the difference between an innovator and the rest of the world? So it is often said that there are two types of people. A set of people who look at the top of the mountain where you really want to go when you are standing at the foot of the hill, and they look and see, they are able to visualize the panoramic view, that beautiful sight they will be able to enjoy when they eventually get to the top of the mountain. But then there is the rest of the world who will stand at the foot of that mountain, and they won't be able to see the top or visualize what they will be able to view from the top, but they will be only able to see the big rocks and the stumbling blocks and the hard road, the tough road that is in front of them. And this is precisely what differentiates innovators from the rest of the world. The common man, or the ordinary mortal, sees the world in terms of a series of problems and blockages. An innovator or a problem solver sees the world in terms of solutions. It is this solution thinking that differentiates the innovator. There is an opportunity in every problem. The size of the opportunity is directly proportional to the size of the problem. If you think from a startup perspective, a million dollar problem is also happens to be $1 million opportunity. A $1 billion problem also happens to be $1 billion opportunity. It is not easy to keep that kind of a positive attitude, especially in terms of adversity as we are going through now. But that attitude was precisely what organizations like Pfizer and Moderna did. And closer to home, Pune Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech took, when they saw the surmounting wave of the COVID pandemic. Now, I would also like to talk about, so our education system very well recognizes the need for skills, capabilities, knowledge building, etc. And we do a fantastic job at that. But I would also like to talk about, and this probably I'm referring to also because, when you talk to in my regular job as the CEO of IT Park, it's very common for me to deal with the people in a professional setting, the heads of other companies, etc. And I hear this very often from them. The comment always is the students who pass out of the institutions are always not workforce ready. There is a skill gap, and there are a lot of government organizations that try to solve the problem, but as a state or as a society, we haven't really solved that problem fully. It's a global problem. I mean, even the more evolved educational setups have this gap. It exists in the US, it exists in Europe, it exists in most of the economies, but I think we have a larger gap than some of the other economies. What I want to talk about is your soft skills or the softer aspects of being an innovator. This is about the human side of being an innovator. What I would like to talk about is collaborative innovation, being a collaborative innovator. How can you do more by working with others is the key question. Being an innovator is not about being the smartest person in the room or knowing it all very well. It is really about the honesty to admit what you know and what you do not.
The last part, to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of their separate effects. So that's a beautiful concept, right? Something to take away from this conversation. Finally, I would like to conclude by quoting one of the greatest innovators of the man responsible for the small device that takes so much of our day-to-day life, nothing other than the smartphone. Quoting Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, innovation distinguishes a leader from a follower. Quote again, innovation distinguishes a leader from a follower. So I exhort you, let us be leaders, let us be innovative, let us be problem solvers. You are taking a very strong first step today, a step in the right direction, while participating in this celebration of your innovative capabilities and God-given talents. I congratulate you for what you have produced today, and all the best to all of you young innovators today as well as every other day forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Music is a world within itself, with a language that we all understand. Now, I call upon Ms. Shreya of Class 8 to entertain us with a beautiful song. First, let's take a look at the exhibit of Master Uday Shankar of class 12B.
So a very good morning to all present here. I am Uday Shankar and I'm extremely privileged to present my project in this auspicious occasion. So this is a greenhouse and it takes up to a total area of 52 meter squares and it is actually very smart. And now let us understand the working of this project. Actually, this project is divided into three parts. First is a mechanical build, the electronics, and the software. The mechanical build actually consists of the body. The electronics, which is the heart of this project, consists of the sensors, devices, and the power unit. The lead acid battery is which powers the whole system. The sensors like humidity sensors, temperature, and soil moisture gives us a readings of the conditions in the greenhouse. The devices such as dehumidifiers, water pump, and the vent fan can be controlled through a Bluetooth app, which is coming under the software part, which we'll see in the later part of the video. So this is a dehumidifier. What technology I have used here? It consists of a Peltier module, which on applying current, one of its side become hot and other becomes cold with a constant temperature difference. It works on fundamental principle of Seebeck effect, and what happens is the heat sink actually dissipates the heat from the whole dehumidifier, and the colder side goes to very low temperature, and hence the water condenses on the surface of the Peltier, which is then exhausted. And next, we have the water pump for irrigation purpose. And this would control the soil moisture level required for each plant, which is given in the programmed in the code for taking the data of each plant and understanding them. And it would hence control the soil moisture level. Next, we have the vent fan. Actually, in my observation, the atmosphere inside the greenhouse was much warmer and it's humid. And obviously, that is the main purpose of a greenhouse. But at this part of country, at the South India, the climate is moderate and we don't go up to a very low temperature. And this is why ventilation becomes very important at this part of the country. So this is the working of the vent fan. Now let us understand the process and the control of this whole greenhouse. Now, here is a catch. The greenhouse is actually controlled with a microcontroller. Here, the main drawback or the challenge we face is we could do only a single task at a time. If we want to automate, we cannot use a microcontroller because if we have to turn on the dehumidifier, it will not give the sensor values and we cannot run all the three devices simultaneously. For that, we need a microprocessor which could do the parallel process at a single time. And that is why we use a Bluetooth control in this project. This is a soil moisture sensor. Soil moisture, as the name suggests, it detects the water content present in soil. Next, we have the humidity and the temperature sensor, which gives us the readings of the temperature and humidity inside the greenhouse. Now we have the relay module. As said before, Peltier actually draws a large amount of current and the microcontroller is not capable of doing that. So we use a relay module to isolate the microcontroller, which can be triggered to the relay and then turn on the devices. So this is a Bluetooth app which I created. where you can get the readings of each sensors like humidity, temperature, and soil moisture, then control the devices such as pump, dehumidifier, and the fan. Now this is a power unit, and which is the most interesting part of this project. The system is powered with a lead acid battery. Now you could actually charge this battery using a suitable adapter to the power source. To make it more efficient, we could use solar energy or some other innovative ideas like piezo. Like few years before, I have created project on piezo, which would directly we will connect the small power devices to it and then easily control them. But that is not very efficient. So we could charge a battery, then use it for much other purposes. And other way could be the solar energy, as we know that the sun is the ultimate source of energy, and drawing them would be one of the best sources. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Uday. Next, we have Master Visual from class 9A with his experience.
Good morning to one and all present here. My name is Vijay and this is my science exhibition for the year 2021 and 2022. It's a top-down shooter game made by me in a week. The objective of this game is to score as much points as possible without dying. If we kill an enemy right here, the score increases in here. So, but the enemy also tries to kill us. So we have a heart system. So when the heart decreases to 0, our life ends and we lose. So these enemies tries to attack us. There are two types of enemies in here: the green variation and the orange one. The green one charges at us and tries to attack us directly. So if we go touch it, our heart will decrease, as you can see. The orange variation shoots fireballs at us from a distance. So when the fireball hits us, it also damages us. So as you can see, when the heart reaches 0, we lose. The enemies use pathfinding algorithms to find a way near us. So as you can see, this enemy follows us throughout the map. But if it is not within their range, they will not follow us. If an enemy is off screen, it cannot see us, and that means that it will not follow us. But when we go near it, it will detect us and it will follow us. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, let's take a look at the exhibition of Miss Shifa from class 9.
Hello everyone, my name is Shifa Faiza of class 9B. I'm here to present my exhibit, Producing an Oil by Burning Plastic. This oil can be considered as a crude oil. Now I'm showing how it is arranged. Materials required for this project are bottle, plastic tube, aluminum tube and metal container. Make a hole in the cap of the can and insert aluminum tube in the hole. Insert plastic tube into the aluminum tube. Make a hole in the cap of the bottle and insert aluminum tube into the hole. Make a hole in the side of the bottle and insert another aluminum tube into the hole. Join plastic tube like this. Put M-seal at all joint to prevent leakage. Now we are putting used plastic cover into metal container for melting. Close the container tightly. We are burning plastic by firing under the container. This bottle is used for condensation. Condensation is a process where vapor becomes liquid. We kept another container under this bottle for keeping ice. This tube is used for remaining vapor which doesn't condense. We can see some droplets falling from near the cap. This is because of the vapor condense with environmental temperature and form liquid. The process happened here is called pyrolysis of plastic. Pyrolysis of plastic is a process of making energy by burning plastic. So we converted plastic into vapor and we brought it through the tube to bottle. Then we condensed the vapor by using condenser made by ice. We call this oil as a plastic oil. It is similar to petrol, but it is not that pure. We can also see several layers in it. It is almost like a crude oil. We need to filter it into petrol, diesel, etc. Now we can check whether it will burn or not. We saw that the oil doesn't burn for a long time. It was because the oil was in an open environment and it was in a crude form. Now the plastic waste is flooded in the globe and the fuel price is very high. If we try to convert plastic waste into fuel, we can save this globe and we can get fuel in cheap price. Thank you.
Thank you, Shilpa. As an appreciation for Mr. John Thomas for the time and valuable input he has shared with us all today, I invite our director to offer him a memento as a token of love and respect. Thank you, Father. Showing gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful things we can do for each other. I invite Ms. Maria Jyoti for the vote of thanks. An essential aspect of creativity is not being afraid to fail. Good morning to all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. First, I thank the director of our school, Reverend Father Anthony Ariel, for his words of encouragement. His guidance has always encouraged us. Thank you, Father. We sincerely thank our chief guest, Mr. John M. Thomas, for his valuable presence, good wishes, and for helping us to make this event a memorable one. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our principal, Mrs. Sheila Xavier, for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best. Thank you, ma'am. I thank our manager, Mr. C.C. Raphael, for his generous support for this event. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our school coordinator, Deepa ma'am, for her unstinted support. Thank you, ma'am. With a deep sense of appreciation, we thank our loving teachers for their untiring efforts. Thank you, teachers. I am thankful to all the non-teaching staff who helped us to make this event a success. My thanks also goes to the media persons. I extend my sincere gratitude to all the parents for their rock-solid support and encouragement. Last but not the least, I thank all the students for their participation in this event. Thank you all. Thank you, Maria. I request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
जनगणमन नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मांगे गावे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Creative thinking inspires ideas. Ideas inspire change. With this, we have come to the end of the ceremony. This is me, Vaidhi Verma, signing off.